Alrighty guys, we are back today, another Scottish European match review, and a wee bit more positive here tonight than I have been in recent times, and that is because one of the shite teams for Scotland haven't cost me money. Stuck 150 quid on Celtic today to win. I also logged into William Hill and I noticed a free 50. By the way, this match is still going, there's like a minute to go here. I noticed a free £50 bet in my Wally Hill account, so I thought, you know what, we'll stick it on Celtic to win both halves, 5-1, and at the moment they're winning both halves, so if I hold on, I'm getting like, probably what, in total, maybe nearly £500 in my Wally Hill account, but I just need to hold on, so Big Ange, just calm the lads down. The problem with holding on is, the problem with not conceding this, Celtic's back four's fucking shite. I mean, no truer words will ever be said than Celtic's back four is crap. Now, I mean, you look at the centre-backs, right, I'll give Welsh, I'll lay off him a little bit, because Welsh is basically, you know, the player that's come up through the academy. The youth player, the guy that's just been thrown in at the deep end, right? Walsh is like the wee 4-foot kid that can't swim and he's just been chucked into the deep end of the 7-foot pool, you know what I mean? And he's fucking drowning. Whereas Starfelt's supposed to be the more experienced centre-back. They paid $4 million for him. They brought him in to be like the rock, to be the solid foundation. But looking at them, you would think that Welsh is, you know, the experienced player. You'd think he's the guy that cost $4 million, and you would think that Starfelt's the guy that's absolute shite and that's drowning in the pool. Don't get me wrong, Welsh ain't great, but I mean, he looks a hell of a lot better and a hell of a lot more secure and, you know, safer than that other guy does. What's his name? Starfelt. Aye, that's the one. As for the fullbacks, it's kind of similar. I mean, Greg Taylor bought him off Kilmarnock. The guy's not good enough, right? I thought he was decent when he was at Kilmarnock, and he was decent at Kilmarnock. He was good at Kilmarnock, and he's a good Kilmarnock player, but is he a Celtic player? Should he be a guy that's starting in the Celtic 11 when they're trying to compete in Europe, trying to qualify for Champions Leagues? Is Greg Taylor the man? No, he can't even pass a ball. It's awful every time you watch him. Oh, chance for Edouard. Are we going to get 3-0? It doesn't look like it because he's dribbling towards the fucking corner flag like a big fanny. So, nah, we ain't going to get 3-0. Probably just going to settle for the 2-0. McCarthy loses it. And I'll fucking lose it. If this goes in, I'll lose it. But no, who is that? Big Sorrow. Big legend, man. Big, absolutely fucking legend. What a guy. Big Sorrow, man. But anyway, as we were saying, I mean, Ralston's actually not that bad. He's had an impressive start to the season. He scored a couple of goals, even though at the start people were saying he's garbage. Do I think Ralston's good enough? Definitely not. But I'll lay off Ralston because he scored against Hearts. He scored against Dundee. He's actually been looking pretty good. But Greg Taylor, can he pass a ball? He can't cross a ball. Can he pass a ball? He can barely defend. I mean, what's he doing? I mean, what's the fucking point of his life? I mean, if you're a footballer but you can't pass, then they may as well take you out the back of the shed and put you down. And I think that's what they need to do with Greg Taylor. But it's all over, guys. It is all over. Now we can get into the review, right? 5 minutes into the game, Celtic could have been 2-0 down. My heart was fucking pounding, man. I thought I was beat. Should have been a penalty, I think. I mean, you could argue it would have been a soft penalty, but you definitely see them giving. Starfelt, again, on the wrong side, as per usual. Always his fault, and I'm not picking on the guy, but he's garbage. What do you want me to say? I'm not going to say he's a good player when he's fucking shite, you know what I mean? So, yeah, Starfelt was to blame there. And then the guy, another pass, just the Celtic defence gets completely cut open, and the guy in the red shirt, they said Alkmaar guys should score. In fairness, Joe Hart makes a great save with his leg. As the guy's trying to put it on the opposite side. Joe Hart's kind of going to his left-hand side, but manages to adjust his body and flicks his leg out to the right to make the save. But still, that guy should have gave Joe Hart no chance, no opportunity to save that. That should have been the opening goal of the match. It wasn't. And then after like a nervy opening 5 minutes, Celtic did come into the game, and they pretty much dominated the first half. Good goal when it was, who was it? Tom Rogic out in the, I believe it was Rogic. Yeah, I think it was Rogic out in the left-hand side. Shimmies past his player, gets a cross in, and the ball must have been about, the cross is about 5 feet in the air. Well, actually, it couldn't have been 5 feet because Kyogo's about 2 feet and it was about his head height. But anyway, regardless, right, it's a high ball coming in, and Kyogo is running towards it, but it's still not an easy chance by any means, even though he's only about 6 yards out for goal, and Kyogo manages to get his leg up and, you know, crack it on the volley and control it and keep it down. It hits the top roof of the net and goes in. So, you know, a great technique there for him, great goal. And Celtic really should have doubled the lead in the second half. Abada had a shot. He could have played through Furuhashi, decided not to. Abada had a few chances. Abada does look really good, to be honest, but I felt like there was one occasion where he definitely could have played through Furuhashi to double lead. It didn't happen. Then we went into the second half, and I think Celtic's intensity, the pressing kind of dropped down a wee bit. What happened? I'm trying to think what happened. Fuck. Head's going blank. Head's going blank. Late day at work. Head's going blank. Anyway, so get into the second half. AZ Alkmaar looked like they were pressurising, which they were. And there's a ball played through it, and again, it's fucking shocking for Starfelt. Absolutely shocking. And they AZ Alkmaar guys out towards like the left hand side of the penalty box, and he's got a guy in the middle. All he has to do is play him in. All he has to do is straight ball. It's a straight ball across, mate, and that's a tap in. But he waits, and he gives Stephen Welsh enough time to get back, and Stephen Welsh manages to get a block in. He manages to get a slide in, tackle it, stop the cross from coming in. Then Starfelt again goes to try and get the ball, and he's completely took out the game with a wee pass, and the AZ Alkmaar player shoots over the top of the net. At this stage, John Hartson is going mental over the Stephen Welsh challenge. I wouldn't be surprised if he was pure masturbating over it, but I mean, it was a good challenge, but I mean, again, John Hartson was going a bit over the top here. Celtic then got their second. To be honest, I can't fucking remember who scored it. I was doing something else at the time. I can't remember what I was doing. I was probably replying to some fucking fanny on YouTube that was giving me a hard time. That's what I was probably doing. But I believe it was Forrest. I want to say it was Forrest that scored. I'm going to say it was Forrest. And then Edouard came on, Abada went off, Furuhashi went off, Celtic started to defend, and I'm thinking, oh no. They're starting to defend. The one thing this team can't do, and that's what they tried to do with about 25 minutes to go, and I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, Alkmaar were putting a lot of pressure on. They had a shot that took a deflection just outside the box, and it hit the side net, and I thought it was in. But overall, man, Joe Hart didn't really have a lot to do. He didn't. First they had that save in the first minute, but overall, it was kind of a lot. He came for a lot of crosses, and he caught the ball and stuff like that, but nothing spectacular, man. He wasn't pulling off like Superman saves like Craig Gordon at the weekend. He was just, it is what it is. Celtic had to defend solidly. Edouard had one moment where he's on the edge of the box, the Celtic box, and he tried to do a back heel flick, and he almost played Alkmaar in, and that was bad. But every time Alkmaar came forward, it just looked like there was chances there to score. And to be honest, if they took their chances, if they were more clinical going forward, they would have scored. If this Celtic attack were playing against themselves, see in training, see if this attack, like Abada and Furuhashi, see if they're playing against Starfelt and Greg Taylor, they must pump them about 25-0, because the difference between attack and the defence is absolutely madness. So Celtic then with a 2-0 win, they take that to Holland. I think they'll see it out. I'm not necessarily convinced they'll win in Holland, because they did look a bit ropey in the second half tonight and in the opening 5 minutes. And like I said, as good as their attack is, their defence is bad. And they might be able to score goals, but I think when they come up against good teams this season, I think they're going to need to score 3 or 4 goals, because I can't see them keeping clean sheets. I know they've done it tonight, but I think that was more due to Alkmaar just, bottling it really. So there you go, man. It's a good win for Celtic. Clean sheet, away goals don't count anymore, so it's a 2-goal advantage. I think they should get the job done. I'd be surprised if they don't, because I think they will score. They'll probably score in Holland. Even if they get 1 goal, Alkmaar need 3. With Starfelt at the centre back, you could probably get about 30 goals, to be fair, but I think they'll just do enough to get through, guys. So there you go, Celtic 2, AZ Alkmaar 0. I'm going to go and log on to Willie Hill here and look at the 500. It'll probably be about £530. I'm going to go and look at that, and we'll go and do something with it. But that's for tonight's game. Good for Celtic, I guess. Good for the coefficient. Interesting again. See Kyogo starting over Edouard. No sign of Lee Griffiths. He's probably too busy texting some 15-year-old bird. So we didn't get to see Lee Griffiths tonight. Is his Celtic career over, guys? I think it is. I'd be surprised if Lee Griffiths ever plays for Celtic again. Ange seems to be this guy that wants a hard working team. He wants teams pressing. and the only thing fucking Lee Griffiths is pressing is teenage girls' DM. So I can't see Lee Griffiths getting back into this team, guys, and I can't see AZ Alkmaar getting back into this tie. That is it for Son of Scotland TV. Will we be back tomorrow? We probably will. I mean, I'll probably stick money on fucking Aberdeen tomorrow and they'll get humped, and then I'll come on, I'll be all raging because I think Scottish football's great, but in reality it's pretty shite. We'll be back though, back tomorrow with another review, but for tonight, Celtic 2, AZ Alkmaar 0. Good game, and that is it, man. Till next time, peace out.